So you know how a lot of people will say fiber is not essential, so you don't need it, or I don't need fiber, I poop just fine. My name is Gabrielle, I'm a gut health dietitian, and I'm super passionate about educating people on fiber and gut health and how they can get enough fiber in while tolerating it. And I really want people to fully understand all the benefits fiber has beyond pooping. Because yes, fiber can help you have better poops, but it can also help you with managing your blood sugar levels, whether you have diabetes or not. If you do have diabetes or you're pre-diabetic, it can help lower your A1C levels, but it can also just stabilize your blood sugars to help lower your cholesterol or keep your cholesterol in check. And it can also lower your risk of diseases like cancer. Let's start with cholesterol. So there's certain types of fiber like psyllium husk, which you're probably familiar with, or oats. Oats specifically have a fiber called beta glucan, and these are all soluble fibers that can form a gel in your gut. That gel can help move cholesterol out of your bloodstream, which can help lower your cholesterol. There's a meta-analysis that showed us if you have 3 grams of beta glucan, which is the type of fiber that comes from oats, a day, it can lower your LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, by 10 points. 3 grams of beta glucan would be 3/4 cup of raw oats, which is going to be like a cup and a half of oatmeal, so kind of a lot. And you can also get it in a cup of cooked barley. This is another soluble fiber that can help lower your cholesterol. There was a meta-analysis that looked at individuals with high cholesterol, and 10 grams of psyllium husk daily helped lower cholesterol levels by 7%. Now, that's a lot. 1 tablespoon is 4 grams of fiber. If you had 2 of these a day, you could try it. Well, ask your doctor. There's also research on psyllium husk and ulcerative colitis. So ulcerative colitis is a type of inflammatory bowel disease. I had a patient that I did a stool test on. Their calprotectin was so high. They went in, they ended up doing a colonoscopy, and they found that they had colitis. There's a really good classic trial on psyllium husk and colitis. It wanted to see the benefit of psyllium husk versus mesalamine for ulcerative colitis remission maintenance. So remission just means that you're not inflamed at the moment, you're not having a flare up. And the combo of psyllium husk and mesalamine helped keep patients in remission. Another thing I like to do when I talk about fiber is explain probiotics and prebiotics. So we have a bunch of bacteria in our gut, and that's a good thing. We want the right amount of good gut bacteria. We don't want too much of it, we don't want too little of it. We want the right amount that keeps our gut microbiome balanced. And sometimes if we have a low amount of those good gut bacteria, that can increase our risk of developing bad gut bacteria. So it's also called opportunistic bacteria. So it's not necessarily bad, but when it gets to a certain level, because we don't have enough good gut bacteria, so we're giving the opportunity for bad things to start to multiply, that's where you start to have issues and symptoms. And essentially, in order to continue to populate good gut bacteria, we want to eat a variety of different foods because those foods have fiber. Some of them are even prebiotic fibers that become food for the gut bugs in our gut. And when those gut bugs, this is a good one that we want, Akkermansia loves red polyphenols. So red, purple, blue fruits and vegetables. You want to feed your Akkermansia. Akkermansia has a huge role in protecting the outside of our gut. So if you have a low amount of Akkermansia, that can make your gut have the opportunity to build other bacteria that you don't want. When our gut bacteria eats the fiber, it creates things like short chain fatty acids and gas. So you might get a little tooty when you eat certain fibers. Some people are more sensitive than others, which is a whole other conversation, but it creates short chain fatty acids. Short chain fatty acids can be catalysts for so many great things in our body. One short chain fatty acid is butyrate, which is the main energy source for your colon. So it helps protect the outside of your colon and build a strong barrier. They also bind to receptors that help regulate inflammation, which can help prevent you from having chronic inflammation. Certain short chain fatty acids like acetate and propionate can interact with our liver and are involved with insulin sensitivity. Short chain fatty acids can also influence things like our GLP-1. So GLP-1 is a hormone that's released after our meals to help regulate appetite. It helps you feel more full for longer. So getting more fiber can help with the release of GLP-1, but also fiber just adds bulk, so it physically makes you feel full.
Okay, it's a new day, but I just want to make another comment about the GLP-1 because apparently all I recorded was fiber can increase the release of GLP-1. I need to explain what GLP-1 is so people can understand it better. GLP-1 is a hormone our body releases after we eat food. We have GLP-1 receptors in different areas on our body, like our brain, our gut, our kidneys, our blood vessels. And about 10 to 15 minutes after you eat, GLP-1 can be released from your L cells in your small intestine and colon, and it can signal to your brain that you're full. It also tells your stomach to slow down. It can slow down gastric emptying, which makes you feel more full. So you end up eating less because you're full quicker. GLP-1 can also help release insulin, and like I mentioned earlier, insulin can be released from your pancreas when you have too much sugar in your bloodstream, or just any sugar in your bloodstream after you eat. That's a normal thing that happens. And insulin can take the sugar out of your bloodstream and move it to your cells for energy and other physiological processes in your body. But when it comes to fiber, I have a ton of videos on the different types of fibers, but there's certain types of fibers called fermentable fibers that they come from soluble fiber, and they go to your colon, and when your gut bugs eat on the fiber, it creates things like short-chain fatty acids. Short-chain fatty acids can go to those L cells that release GLP-1, so it can help stimulate the release of GLP-1s, which again can help stimulate insulin secretion, so it can help lower your blood sugars. It signals your brain that you're full. It can slow down how quickly your stomach is processing the food, so it can delay gastric emptying, which can make you feel full. All of that technicality, all you really need to know is fiber makes you feel more full and satisfied for longer. And certain types of fibers, especially the fermentable ones, so some examples would be like onions, asparagus, artichoke, beta-glucan in oats, resistant starch that comes from green bananas, or things like pasta, rice, and potatoes. If you cook them and then cool them in the fridge for at least 12 hours, it can increase resistant starch, which is just changing the structure of the carbohydrate to act like a fermentable prebiotic fiber. Other things that can help with GLP-1 is protein. A lot of times when people are trying to manage their blood sugar levels, we encourage all of you, for all of us to have nice, stable blood sugar levels, to increase your fiber and your protein, because they make you feel more full and satisfied for longer, and they also help your body release insulin so you can move the sugar in your blood into your cells. So it really just, it's so interesting. It's like everything's all over the place. When you think of the body, just think of arrows literally in every single direction, because everything's so connected and it's so fascinating. Anyway,
If you don't eat enough fiber,
the gut bugs in your gut still want to eat something. So it might eat things like protein.
and when your gut ferments proteins, it can release toxic byproducts that are pro-inflammatory, like ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and it can increase the growth of certain bacteria that release LPS or lipopolysaccharides. It's basically just a toxin from the walls of the bad bacteria, and that can leak into your body and cause issues. And then there's this systematic review and meta-analysis that showed that for every extra 8 grams of fiber you have a day, you lower your risk of all-case mortality, so dying, by 7%, including things like colon cancer. And that's why it's crazy that 95% of Americans aren't getting enough fiber. And I feel like in 2024 and 2025, people started to learn more about it. I mean, I know plenty of people that know more about it. Even myself, I've definitely studied it more and learned more about it because of the rise in colon cancer. And it's just so fascinating seeing the connections, but also I love that people are talking about it and encouraging people to eat more of it, because we have to talk about it. And there's so much good research on fiber. The gut is really confusing, and we definitely need more studies on the gut, but we are learning a lot, and it makes me so excited because I could talk about fiber all day long and I could study it all day long. And my kitty looks so cute right now. Don't mind my clothes hanging outside and the siren. She's so cute. So if you can't tolerate fiber, let's talk about it and all the benefits of fiber beyond pooping. I can tell you 5 right now: cholesterol, blood sugar, weight management, lowering your risk of diseases and all-case mortality, lowering your risk of colon cancer, being happier, having better poops, lowering chronic inflammation. Bye.